No, by the way, they're not voting for any of these DSA candidates. Neither are the Latinos.
Is screw the blacks out of the nominating process because they know they can't win South Carolina. Black folks, or listen to me very carefully, are the most loyal part of the entire Democratic coalition. If you disrespect them, they know it. And a Democratic Party can never show any distance between itself and black voters. And it gets to the point that the progressive want to disrespect people. They're going to understand that, and you're going to lose a constituency that has stuck with you for the last 70 years.
And the black voters have not been voting for these DSA candidates. They're doing terrible. The entire working class is not voting for them. It's a bunch of rich, snotty, educated white kids.
They'll talk the talk. I want somebody that walks the walk. I want somebody that's walked the walk. I'll tell you who it could be for the second, Mitch Landrieu. You know why? Because he walked the walk. He took the goddamn monuments down. They understand that. All right? Don't tell me what you're going to do for me. Tell me what you did. Tell me about the blood you shed. That's what I want to know. And that's why they're never.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to Roland's Reviews. All right. I hope everyone is having a beautiful Saturday, actually. I'll be glad. My favorite time of the year will be coming up shortly, fall and winter. I'll be glad when this god-awful heat is gone. Let me go ahead and get started with the roll call. And I wanted to start you off with, they call him Skeletor, James Carville. Looks like freaking, if you think of Poltergeist, he looks like that dude at the door. You're gonna die. He's horrific to look at. We know he's a Democrat strategist. And so, yeah. How is everyone doing? And excuse me. All right, let me get this in. There we go. How are you doing, Maga Tamara? Hope everything is okay with you and yours. Ali, hello. Tina, of course, is here. How you doing? Baldwin Birds, meow. How are you? Greg is here, of course. How you doing, Greg? And Alex is here. Dorian, how are you? Nemo has been found. So he's here as well. And I'm going to break down everything, excuse me, that he said. And I'm telling you, a lot of the things that we have been discussing over the past 2 to 3 years, if you listen to the Democrat shills, you listen to the strategists, so some of them have been paying attention to Black Americans who vote Democrat. And I've shared some of that with you where some said no check, no vote and all of that. But James Carville is telling them what they need to do, because we know the Democratic Party there's a split, there's a schism going on. We know what they did to ghetto Jasmine Crockett, and they told Democrats, black Democrats, well, here's Tallarico, whatever, and they're like, we're not voting for him. So it's a mess, and I love it. So how about no check ID, no show? Right, Alex? So that's the mantra. That's what they're saying. I'm not voting for Democrats, so that does not apply to me. But that's what they're telling them, actually. I hope you make this a long one, Lynn, because this is always the best part of my day where my brain doesn't think. Okay, MAGA. Yeah, MAGA. You know we've been discussing this, dear. And the Democrats are still in disarray. I absolutely love it. And here's another little clip. I'm going to play this one. Then I'm going to go back and try to give you my review and dissect the first clip that I shared with you. How you doing? My Girls is here. Okay. Excuse me. All right. America is in, yes, Tina, big time spiritual war. So I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to go back because Robert, how you doing? Robert said he does look like Skeletor or LOL. Yeah, he does. Look at him. He looks exactly like Skeletor. He looks terrific to me. Communism and socialism never work. At least people dead all around. Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to play this one. And then those of you who are just joining us, I've already played one clip. Tina, I'm with you, dear. All right, let's listen to this one.
In the Democratic nomination, you have to ask yourself two really important questions. One, can you raise a lot of early money? The second question you have to ask yourself, who can walk into a black fish fry in South Carolina, a black church? Now, they can be nice. They're very polite people. Yeah. But who is going to get them to hum and sway? Win the Democratic nomination, you have to ask yourself two really important questions. One, can you raise a lot of early money? The second question you have to ask yourself, who can walk into a black fish fry in South Carolina, a black church? Now, they can be nice. They're very polite people. Yeah. But who is going to get them to hum and sway?
And we know that fish fry, Jim Clyburn, he's been doing that for years. First of all, and like I said, I've done a few videos on that subject matter. And we know they go to the black church and they're welcomed into the pulpit. And of course, the minister gets on board, tells the congregation, oh, look at this. Look at our God. They don't realize they're not worshiping God. They're worshiping the Democrats. That's the sad part. They do not realize what they are doing. And they hum and sway. Fish fry. Clyburn has a fish fry, an annual fish fry. So you go, you eat fish. And of course, he tells you who to vote for and you do it. Just mind numbing. I can't with these people. And it's just really sad that people won't think for themselves. And Jim Clyburn has his check. He has his marching orders. He does what the Democrat Party tells him to do. And he gets his crumbs from his Democratic slave masters. And so why people still listen to them, I just don't know. MAGA, I think the only reason the guy is still alive is the devil is afraid he'll take it over. MAGA. Woo, MAGA. Absolutely. MAGA, you get the first truth bomb. Not even the devil wants this guy. Oh, my God. That was a good MAGA. That was good. Praise Queen. Hello. How you doing, Ruby? And so that's where we are, folks. And Ruby, tell us what you think about Skeletor, a.k.a. Jim Clyburn. Not Jim Clyburn. Carville here. James Carville, Democrat strategist. The Grim Reaper ain't hiding his racism towards blacks, not one bit. Yeah, let's listen to the way they talk. Now, you have other demographics. Now, we've talked about Black Americans, past 70 years, just about, have been voting, almost 70 years, been voting for Democrats. So, you know, you're voting for your own demise. But we have other people that just joined us. Let me play this and look at this. Look, they're talking. What are they talking about? Animals, in Africa. Who can get them to hum and sway? What are we talking about? Elephants, giraffes? Come on. And he says this, that the blacks don't buy this, and you see what he says here. Because again, the one reason that the Democratic Party is imploding is because they don't listen to what the people tells them, which, I mean, it's good for the country, so I love it. They choose, like, we can go back. This started where we really started to pay attention. And remember, it was Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. The people wanted Bernie Sanders, but the powers that be in the Democratic Party said, no, we want Hillary to be the first woman. And so they've been going downhill ever since, and I love it. MAGA, they've never hit their racism, toward Black people. When they say reading racist, it's not because they think highly. Yeah, MAGA, that's what I'm saying. Just listen to what they're saying. MAGA, we know that autocorrect. We know. James, the crypt keeper, is telling these Democrat socialists the truth. They show up at the church. Play is not working anymore. Of course, yeah, the show up at your church, the twerk fest with the likes of course, what's her face? Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B and all that crowd. Dorian, Roland, the Democrats are fighting these socialists, and they're even scared of calling them out. Oh yeah, they are. Oh yeah. So let me get this started, because we had more people to add, and then I'm going to break it down for you.
The blacks don't buy this shit.
No. By the way, they're not voting for any of these.
The blacks. Why is he so focused on the blacks? You have white Americans who are Democrats. You have Latinos who are Democrats. What are they always focusing on? And he said their most loyal voter base. Right, Nemo? But the funny thing is, if the blacks would wake up, he told them the blacks are the most loyal voting base. What do they do for the blacks? They just showed you how they feel about you during this last term with Jim Crow, Joe Biden, and the Curry Queen. Yes, Nemo, he's definitely a scumbag. How you doing, Steve? And so they brought to the tune, and I did many videos, to the tune of billions of dollars. They flooded this country with millions of illegal immigrants, migrants, and they dumped them in Black communities, told them to deal with it. Thank God Chicago fought against them. But okay, here we go. But that's what the Democrats did for you, for the blacks, as James Carville, aka Skeletor, says. Yes, Tina. The people in Chicago and all of these blue cities, I did a whole round of videos on that subject matter. And those blue cities, Chicago, Detroit, I could go on, Baltimore, Philadelphia. You have people living in highly impoverished areas. When the Black people who continue to vote for Democrats would ask for money, they were always told there was no money. When they flooded the country with all of these illegals, poof, out of nowhere, money appeared. So why are you still voting for these people? They hate you, and you're still voting for them. Hit the like button for me, please, folks. Get rid of these social. Yeah, Robert. Yes. And so that's just where we are. We've been talking about this. And James Carville, we know when we found out when the Curry Queen lost, We found out she blew about $2 billion, something like that. And now she's talking about running again, which we know is a joke. They're not giving her that kind of money to blow again. And we found out the Black Democrat shills, we found out their cut. Al Sharptongue, Roly Poly, Butt Cheek Martin, the entire crew. We found out how much money all of them were paid, and they still could not deliver enough of the black vote to get the Curry Queen elected. Thank God. Greg, since Biden, I don't know one black that is a Democrat now, and I travel the Southeast, meet a lot of people. It's like the Democrats are has been. Greg, and you've been here for a while with us now, Greg. Everything is being exposed since Trump was elected this second term. Everything is being exposed, which is great. And more people are waking up. And we know the last election cycle, a lot of Black Americans chose the couch. Now, you had more to vote for Trump this time than they did in 2016, but millions of Black Americans stayed home. They said they weren't voting for anyone. When Black Americans stay home, it hurts the Democrats. Okay? That's their primary voting base. Kamala spent $20 billion and the DNC is $20 million in the hole. Nobody's donating to those bums. Tell it, Ruby. Yeah. She blew up Ruby. She blew billions of dollars, and now she has the nerve to say she's running again. Who's donating to her? And you know, I did videos. The people who worked on her campaign weren't paid. They were trying to do GoFundMes to get money to pay their bill. Remember all this? Remember all those videos I did? How you doing, Rusty? All the videos. We were talking about that non-stop. And remember, she and her husband, after she lost the campaign, she and her husband were at that, $7 million resort, while the people that worked for her could not pay their bills because they had not been paid. And we're supposed to vote for someone like that? I don't think so. So I could go on and on. Remember, I did a video. The few Black people that she did have working on her campaign said that they were discriminated against by the other people who were working on her campaign. So make it make sense. I mean, you just have to laugh. How you doing, Rusty? How you doing, Steve? And so that's just where we are. And let me go ahead. I'm going to let this play, and then I'm going to give you my review. I'm going to break it down for you. All right.
GSA candidates, neither are the Latinos.
Is screw the blacks out of the nominating process because they know they can't win South Carolina. Black folks, or listen to me very carefully, are the most loyal part of the entire Democratic coalition.
And I hope and pray that that stops, that changes.
If you disrespect them, they know it. And a Democratic Party can never show any distance between itself and Black voters.
Too late. That's why you had millions of Black Americans who normally vote for Democrats sit on the couch. And the Democrats are worried because with the midterms coming up, how you doing, Beverly? You have many more Black Americans saying they are not voting. They are staying home. So some are going to vote for conservatives. Some, nah, I'm good. They're just going to stay home.
And it gets to the point that the progressive want to disrespect people. They're going to understand that, and you're going to lose a constituency that has stuck with you for the last 70 years.
Again, any Black American who's still voting for Democrats, and you tell me you're okay with what they did, the last administration did, dumping millions of illegals in your community, and particularly these crime-ridden communities. They increased the crime because you did not get the best from Venezuela and other places. You got the criminals. So, yeah, you're going to still vote for these people? Get out of here.
And the Black voters have not been voting for these DSA candidates. They're doing terrible. The entire working class is not voting for them.
You hear that? So they know they have a problem. But Remember, how many of you remember this? Remember, all of these black Democrat shills were out here helping Jim Crow Joe Biden to get elected. And then when he got in the White House, how many of you remember this? Al Sharptongue and some other black Democrat shills kept trying to get a meeting with Jim Crow Joe Biden. He kept telling them, oh, I'm busy, I don't have time. Finally, they did a Zoom call. So he and the Curry Queen used them to get into the White House, right, Ruby? They're useful idiots. And then, oh, we don't have time for you, we're busy. So then they had a Zoom call, but they never did meet with them. So get out of here. Talk about disrespect.
You know,
it's a bunch of rich, snotty, educated white kids.
They don't talk the talk. I want somebody that walks the walk. I want somebody that's walk the walk. I tell you who it could be for the second, Mitch Landrieu. You know why? Because he walked the walk. He took the goddamn monuments down. They understand that. All right? Don't tell me what you're going to do for me. Tell me what you did. Tell me about the blood you shed. That's what I want to know. And that's why they're never.
Yeah. So I wanted to share that with you. Rusty said, I still believe that the coat that was found in the White House belonged to. Really, Rusty? And who knows? Right? You never know. Dorian said this is like watching a train wreck. Yeah. If I did vote for Democrats, I mean, I would have to really say, hey, wait a minute. Look, if you just look at everything that they've done, and this guy, Skeletor, he's been telling them, hey, you can't treat black people like this. They know what you're doing. They're still doing it. But unfortunately, we have people that don't have more than 2 brain cells, and they're still voting for these people. I mean, if I was a Democrat, I would just stay at home. I wouldn't go. I mean, Democrats lose when black people stay home. So, Steve, yeah, maybe, but we need more people. Fetterman, yeah, Greg, yeah. The Democrats must really be losing bad for Carville to say stop disrespecting Black America. Okay, Beverly, I don't know if you were here. Boom. Nemo, the blacks. Beverly, everything that they did, they used and abused. Oh, ghetto Jasmine Crockett. They're the ones who had her acting like a ghetto queen. Then they said, wait a minute. They put, so they're always, everything they project onto the Republicans and conservatives, they're the ones who are doing it. Oh, they're so racist. You're the one who chose Tallarico, and the black people there, black voters there, were like, we're not voting for him. We wanted Jasmine Crockett. So tell me what your thoughts are. I love it.
The blacks don't buy this shit.
Yeah, he's been telling them. But the Democrats, see, their plan, Trump literally trumped their plan. Their plan was to replace their black voting base with all of these illegals. And then Trump, part 2, showed up. I love it. Democrats only come to steal, kill, and destroy. Boom. Steve said Carville's smarter than he looks, and he looks awful. Yeah, his name is Skeletor, Steve. So this is Tallarico. And many of the black voters there are saying, we're not voting for him. We wanted Jasmine Crockett. So the Democrat Party is in shambles, and I absolutely love it. So I wanted to show that to you. Yeah, so yeah, he's all over the place. Yeah. So you can tell me what you think about that. And we've already told you about the racist past of the Democrat Party, but people just don't want to listen. When you try to tell them, oh well, no, the party's flipped. That's what they say. So, what are you going to do? at this point. People don't want to listen. Lanita, how you doing? Lanita, did you see the video I did last night? It was on education. I was hoping so much that you would pop up. All right. Lanita is here. How you doing, dear? All right. All right. Lanita, we talked about education. I don't know if you watched the video with the black male teacher. He was actually crying because he had seniors in his class that couldn't read, they couldn't write, reasoning skills are not there, everything. So he was just crying. You shook James Tallarico's hand? Really, Dorian? Wow. Okay. All right. So anyway, tell me what your thoughts are. And then I'm going to show you, most of you were here when I did the other video on Tallarico. All right. Let me close this down. Wall Street Apes. I think, yeah, I'll let you look at Carville. We're always, I'm going to show you the video that I did on Carville. I'll pull that up. This guy, I've been watching Larry Elder since like the 90s. I have been watching. James, how you doing, dear? Lanita, are you going to check out? Let me see what James said. That's because the Democrat Party wasn't there to tell them what to say. Oh, James. Good point. And this guy's been telling them forever and they won't listen. That Tallarico is a real space cadet, not the NASA kind either. You're right, Rusty.
Most black voters, by the way, have no idea about the racist history of the Democratic Party. I didn't know when I was in high school that the Democrats founded the Klan. I didn't know when I was in high school that Democrats voted against the 13th Amendment that freed the slaves, the 14th Amendment that gave slaves citizenship, the 15th Amendment that, at least on paper, gave slaves the right to vote. Democrats voted against all of that stuff. I didn't know when I was in high school that more Republicans as a percentage of the party voted for the Civil Rights Act of 1964 than did Democrats. I didn't know that. I didn't know that Everett Dirksen, a Republican in Illinois, got an award from the NAACP for how he helped to shepherd the Civil Rights Bill through Congress. I didn't know that Al Gore's father participated in what was then the longest filibuster to prevent the bill from ever becoming on the floor. I also bought into that notion that, okay, Democrats used to be racist, but then Republicans switched places with them in the 60s. I bought into that until I found out that of all the Democrats that voted against the Civil Rights Act in the House, of all the Democrats who voted against the Civil Rights Act in the Senate, only 2 switched to the Republican Party, one of whom was Strom Thurmond. George Wallace, who stood in front of the school door as a Democratic governor saying segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever, he died a Democrat. Robert Byrd, who was a Kliegel, that means a recruiter for the Klan, he died a Democrat at 100 years old in the Senate. Most of these guys never switched parties. It is a lie. The reason the South became more and more Republican is because the Democratic Party became more and more left-wing, became anti-Vietnam, anti-war, pro-abortion, and the South became increasingly uncomfortable with their allegiance to the Democratic Party, especially since Jim Crow had fallen. If Jim Crow has fallen, why are we in bed with these Democrats? What's the point? And so the South became more and more Republican for a reason that had nothing to do with racism, but that was the line that was fed by so many people, and so many blacks to this day believe that.
I detected no lies in his statement. Again, I've been watching him since the 90s, so he's great. So Carville, they got him out here like he knows everything, right? Oh my goodness. So I'm going to let you listen to some more of Carville.
Democratic Party, then you're out of here. Hassan Piker, who's a leftist streamer, and you've made news recently because you said if he remains a force in the Democratic Party, then you're out of here. So what would you like to add to that?
I don't have much to add. To my knowledge, he's never run for office before. The only thing he's ever run is his mouth, and I guess he'll just keep running his mouth. But I can't do anything about that. And let's see how these elections go. You know, we're going to see, in particular, 2028, where the real Democratic Party is.
Well, let's take a look at what Senator Bernie Sanders said about this, about Hassan Piker, and then I'll have you respond to it.
Mr. Carville doesn't want to be in my party, the party that I belong to, that Piker, that El Sayed belongs to. He can start his own party.
What do you think, James Carville?
Well, I would have to do a little fact checking here, if you don't mind. I've been a Democrat my entire adult life. Bernie Sanders has not. So I don't know where he gets off telling me I'm not a member of the party, but he is, because he was very careful not to say he was not a Democrat. He was a socialist, and he ran under that label. But I don't need lectures on what it means to be a Democrat. I really don't. And for somebody who's not really a Democrat.
Yeah. So I'm going to pull up also
Hassan Piker, who's a left.
All right, there we go. This is a young lady who tells the truth. James Carville just using Black Americans like the Democratic Party has done since the Civil Rights Movement. Nothing new here. I hope these Democrat socialists burn the Democratic Party down. I'm going to give that young lady a truth bomb. That would be my hope and prayer. Yeah, they're just using them. That's it. They hate your guts. But they want that vote, right? Wow. Yeah, and they're still talking about the Curry Queen and what she said about Black people. Yeah, but many of you ran out there and voted for her. Not me. And look at this right here. Those of you who've been here, remember I did that video on blue cities, and the last time that those blue cities have had either, a Republican mayor or a Republican governor. Remember in Chicago, we know how bad Chicago is. How many people are old enough to remember I did a video on Chicago not having a Black mayor since 1931? I've said, how many of you were here? I've done a video on that. James Carville looks like Eustace Bag from Courage the Cowardly Dog. Yeah, I used to look at that cartoon, Nemo. Good point, Nemo. Wonder how Hassan would feel giving up half of his paycheck to someone who didn't earn it. Yeah, Rusty, I'm with you. How many of you were here when I did this? We's like our greens washed in the bathtub. Thanks, Kamala, for reminding us how to do it right. And of course, let me see. He needs to check in the mirror before he talks about getting rid of why his nickname should be cut. Okay, Steve. Yeah, and so, yeah, James Carville, he's trying to get them. He's trying to get them on board. The Democrats, though, like I said, they're in shambles, and this is the problem we've already talked about with the Black churches. Many of these Black churches are reprobate. They don't care about God. I've already told you who their God is. They'll endorse a candidate who pushes transgender ideology on kids, claims God is non-binary, and says he has 6 genders. I haven't read that in my Bible. My girls, or Tina, I skipped Sunday school that Sunday. I didn't know that God was non-binary, and I didn't know God had 6 genders. James Tallarico was the most heretical candidate in Texas history. Too many Black churches care more about race. We've already talked about that. And worshiping Democrats than obeying the Bible. And that's what we've been talking about for years. So Dorian said he looks like he belongs on life support. Yeah. So one of the oldest Black churches in Texas is a demonic indoctrination center. And that's not the only, many of them are. And you've heard me say that. Because the pastor is supporting a Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate who is also a Christian. These Republican leaders in Texas are unhinged. All right. And we already know that. Well, how many times have we talked about that? And we also talked about this. Trump opened up the door. So guess what? We know prior to Trump, many Republican candidates that were running for office, they were like, we're not even going to spend any money. We're not even going to go to those blue cities, those blue states, because we're not going to win there. And this is what we've been saying, what the GOP needs to do to expand Black voter support. The rise of democratic socialism. Okay. Yeah. Tina, Miss Rowland. Yes, Miss Tina. Yes, yes, yes. Dorian, yeah, Tallarico was losing. And just wait, Dorian, remember, we did a video on that. The Black voters there said they are not supporting him. So this is good. This is really good. But the Republicans need to, they need to get it together. Trump showed them how to do it. So the places that they normally don't go to, they need to go to. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Campaigning in Black communities matters. Showing up matters. Building relationships matters. And supporting qualified Black candidates matters. Too often, Republicans say they want to expand their coalition, but the support stops when it comes to actually helping Black conservatives run for office, build organizations, and have a meaningful voice within the party. Look at Black conservative candidates running in places like Chicago for mayor and Congress. If the GOP believes its message can resonate in urban America, then it needs to invest in those candidates, not just talk about outreach during election season. Again, look at the headway that Trump made. How you doing? I'm alive. That Trump made from 2016 to this past election. I'm alive. I hope that you are well. So it can be done. And like you said, with socialism rising in the Democratic Party the way that it is, hey, Nemo, but Black lives don't matter. Not for Democrats, they don't. And so conservatives, instead of having a defeatist mode, should say, hey, let's at least try to reach out, right? When Black Republicans raise genuine questions about whether they are being heard, the answer shouldn't be to attack them or dismiss their concerns. Listen, engage, and build. I've talked to many Black conservatives who feel overlooked or undervalued within the Republican Party. That should concern every Republican who wants to build a bigger, stronger coalition. The Democrats may have failed Black communities on policy, but they've often been better at making people feel like they belong to the team. Yeah, even though it was all a facade, we know that. It was all fake. Republicans need to understand something. Yeah. So I said, and I've been saying this, they need to reach out. I mean, you have millions of Black Americans who are sitting on the couch. They're not voting for the Democrats. Now is your time. Black voters don't need Republicans to patronize them. They need Republicans to respect them, support qualified Black candidates, interest in Black communities, invest. Show up year round, not just during elections. Give Black conservatives a real seat at the table. In other words, do the opposite of what the Democratic Party has done for the past almost 70 years. All right. So that, I like, we'll see how it goes. I can't wait for the election to see if conservatives are going to reach out, especially with many Black Americans saying they're going to stay home. This is their time. The problem is we're looking at them as color first and not character and policy first. I'd proudly vote for Byron Donalds in a heartbeat because I know he stands for what's right. Yes, Rusty, you're absolutely right. So Rusty, the conservatives, and I've said this when Trump was elected the second time, he showed them the blueprint. So they can get out here and, start trying to make strides. If not, look at the millions of people that are going to be sitting on the couch. MAGA, yeah, you're seeing more and more of that. So look at old Jim Crow Joe Biden. Oh, and they eat him up. They just love him. Oh. They just love him. But they call Trump the racist, right? Huh. Yeah. So I'm going to show you, and we've already talked about the schism in the Democratic Party. I'll show you this, And then I'm going to put the video up that I did on James Carville and the fish fry. And then we're done. So, Lanita, that will cause a housing issue to collapse quickly. I guess I missed. Greg, I must have missed that, dear. Let's listen to Skeletor one more time, and then we're gone.
She is again, Mr. Valiant. I'm the New York Times reported, and I have the quote right here. I'll get to it. She is against passed off all her views. She has attacked interracial relationships in the American flag. Lady, I ain't in the same party as you. I'm sorry. I just not. And I actually do think it's time for Democrats to talk the S word, schism. I really do. Everybody's always said, no, we're coalition, we're big tent. And there's just some shit that I can't be in the same tent with. And we talk about what Madame was 3 for 3 last night in Manhattan. They call it the Commie Corridor. Fine. Jason Crow's service pack, vote vets, 10 for 11. You wouldn't know Jason Crow exists. Okay,
no, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know how Bill Sandberg exists. You wouldn't know. And I want to be very specific. I understand the free press for being here because they nominated.
Rusty, you weren't there. I did a video on that, Rusty. I did a video on that fact. And I need to do a whole video on Jesse Jackson because once he passed away, I started delving more into his business dealings. And his new name is Shakedown Jackson. He was shaking down American corporations. Now, of course, during that time, we didn't have the internet and a lot of it was, kept quiet behind closed doors. He was shaking down. I mean, and like I said, I've been watching videos. I've been learning more about some of the things he was doing that was kind of kept quiet. And, any American corporation, if you go to them, he was threatening them, I'm going to go public and say that you're racist. And he was getting paid from American corporation. He was shaking them down, basically. Tina, James Carville looks like Night of the Living Dead. You got that right. The Crypt Keeper's brother. Yes, Jesse Jackson was a. Lanita, did you know about all the shaking? You read my mind, and I want to shake you down. He was shaking down all of these American corporations. The downfall of the Black Democrats is because since slavery until MLK, they've been led by others and always looking for a leader instead of looking to Almighty God for help and guidance. Boom. You're right. Hit the like button, folks. I'm going to let him finish, and then I'm going to show you, because many of you were not here when I did the video on him, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago. And I want you to watch that and see what we were talking about in that video.
David Duke or something like that, we'd be the same way. Understand all that. To the extent I understand the Times, because they are the New York Times, so they have to cover, they are the hometown newspaper. But the idea that we must neglect everything else that's going on, all of these other primaries, all the recruits Jason has, all huge, phenomenal successes we've had, and declare that the party is now under the control of the Democratic Socialists.
No lies were detected in this video clip.
Of New York City is insane. But and understand, these people do not like Democrats. Not only are they not Democrats, they wish Democrats poorly. So I just cannot. Maybe there's a way that you can say to, I guess Mandami is the leader of it, is, you insist that, try to insist that the people that run under your banner run as a Democratic Socialist and don't use the Democratic Party as your guideline, and let's negotiate the terms of a schism here. Maybe we can we can part under some kind of advantageous terms for both of us. But I'm done. I'm not in that fucking political party. I am totally comfortable in a political party that spends time questioning the policies of the government of Israel. In fact, I'm enthusiastic about that. I don't want to be in a political party that denies the right of the state of Israel to exist. That's just not, I just can't do that. I'm sorry. It's just not doable.
They are a group.
The whole civil rights movement was built on corruption by corrupt, wicked men and women. My girls, did you see the video I shared with you? The black and white video where some of the people who were there initially at the beginning, they were talking about they were inundated with communists. Yep, the Rainbow Coalition was a dummy organization that didn't really achieve anything of substance, but catfished a lot of money from people who thought they were honest. Oh God, Lanita, boom. Yeah, Lanita, I started delving into some of that once Jesse Jackson passed away. And basically that's what he was doing, shaking down American corporations. And we thought we were told he was this great civil rights leader. And that's what he was doing. Blacks were used for the civil rights movement is really for the little hat tribe. Yeah, Steve, we're finding out a lot. The communists, the communists were behind that. Yeah. All right, let me share this with you and then we're done. Hit that like button. Thank you. Okay. All right. How many of you were here for this? Remember this fish for votes? We did that about 6 months ago. Democrat SHILL James Carville insults black voters. So he's always insulting black voters. Greg, a coworker was talking about what, dear? I must have missed the first part of that. So yeah, I did a whole video on that. If you go, any of you who were not there for that live stream, click on, go to my channel page and click on live and it will pop up. Yeah, it's just 6 months ago. I knew Shakedown Jesse was no good when he paraded around his open affair with a young chick that worked for him. Oh yeah. Hey, that's my favorite Linda Ronstadt song. You're no good, you're no good, you're no good. Baby, you're no good. I'm gonna say it again. You're no good, you're no good, you're no good. Baby, you're no good. Shakedown Jesse. Oh, okay, Greg, thanks. Barnes Homestead. Doesn't everybody like a little catfish? I don't really care for fish, but I know a lot of people that do. I'm starting to eat a little albacore tuna because of the healthy omega-3s. So I am starting to eat it, a little bit. Just tuna and the salmon, to get the healthy fats. Oh, okay, Mog. So yeah, check this out. Fish for votes. Oh, I was hoping that they could get rid of that oil. And we know down there in South Carolina that case was about, of course, wait a minute. Oh, okay. South Carolina. Well, Clyburn has his fish fry. His annual fish fry every year. Lanita, this is the video I did last night. Black teacher cries after learning black high school kids can't read, write, or reason. All right. Shorts. Oh, okay, Barnes. Tina, you were here. Tina remembers it. Thank you, Tina. Yeah, Tina, you remember I did that. This is the short I just uploaded before I came on live. So those of you who are not watching my shorts, my girls, you haven't, hold on. It was 6 months ago. Were you not here for that, love? Let me show. If you go to my channel page and click on live, it was a live stream. Here it is. This right here. And we were talking about Jim Clyburn. Remember, Jim Clyburn is still angry at Black Americans, talking about everything that Trump is doing. This is your fault. You stayed at home and you didn't get off the couch and vote. So he's still, showing his vitriol for Black Americans because they wouldn't come out and vote for the Curry Queen. My girls, just if you go to my page, click on live. It was 6 months ago. You see it, dear? How do parents not notice their kids are having trouble reading? MAGA, they don't care. They don't take the time to care. It's just teacher's job. It's a teacher's job, right? The Freedom Bloc organizations that are nationwide, a left of center socialists claiming to not be. Yeah, Lanita. Logo is the Red Star. Go figure. These silly youth have no idea about the Red Star stuff. They are lost. Along with my special mixed screens and dice turn. Oh, okay, Barnes. Okay, my girls, I hope I got you on the right path. Lanita, check out the live stream from last night and let me know what you think tomorrow if you come to the live. This Lanita right here, it's just a little over an hour. Okay. This is the short I just uploaded before I came on for this live, so check it out. And you know me, I don't like the times we're living in, so I'm going to continue going back. My girls, let me see. I'm going to look that up before I get off from here right now. I mentioned it to you before, but I think I told that time. I think I told you to email me, and let me see. That was the let me see. Yeah, they were talking about it was communist. Hold on. And you had people who were working in it saying that it was. Yeah, let me see if I can find that for you. Let me see. Oh, you were here for that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I got that off of let me see. I will look that up for you. Because I know you asked about it before, and I think I told you to email me, and I never at that time I didn't get the email. That was on, I think, Real Black's channel, Real Black 1 or 2. Yeah, let me look that up. Because that was on one of the content creators' channel. It wasn't on like History Channel or one of those other channels here on YouTube. Yeah, I'll look that up for you as soon as we're done with this live stream. Because there were only a couple of channels that I think it's on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll find that for you. And I went to Roland Martin's channel. He still hasn't said anything about the latest scandal involving his name. Yeah, I'm going to have to, I'll look for that when we're done. Okay, let me get back here. All right, so we're done. Barnes Home, that was heartbreaking with the teacher. Yeah, Tina, that was sad. Tomorrow, to be fair, we don't know how. I still can't believe she thought a washtub and a bathtub were the same. If I had to pick a profession as a young college student, it would not be teaching. Too much stress and disrespect is part of the job requirement. Yeah, and it's getting worse. I agree. The Democrats make promises and then they take the American people's money. My girls, yeah, I'm going to get off from here and look for that now, dear, okay? My granddaughter wanted me to read to her. I about cried. She's 6. Oh, wow. Yeah. Rose reviews. I wish I could find the documentary I watched about the start of the KKK because, honey, if people knew what types of people that started it, it would make your stomach crawl. Okay, my girls, I'm going to look for what I want to share with you. And then what I'll do tomorrow when I do my live, I'll add that link in the description box because I know you and I know you want to click on there and watch that. Okay. So yeah, you see the short I just uploaded. We knew blue lights were special, so you know which company I'm talking about. Yeah, my girls, I'm gonna look for that tonight. As soon as I get off from here. So yeah, if you're not catching my shorts, you're definitely missing a treat. As you can see, the shorts are doing pretty well. So they do share my shorts. They just don't share my political videos. So go figure. Whatever. I still like to come on and talk with all of you. Okay. Hit that like button if you have not already. All right. And I hope you like the song that I chose for today's short. 8675309. Woo, the K. Yes, Rusty, the K to the mark. And I just want to go back. Just good times, good times. Thank you, Baldwin. Good times. Guess what? I have my mama's mushroom napkin holder you showed in the old school short of 1970. Whoa, Lanita, you're joking. Oh my God. Lanita, what about the mushroom canisters and the cups, the things that mom and grandmom had? Oh my God. I just want to go back. I just do. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I want to go back. So those of you who are missing the shorts, I have so many people who are leaving me so many comments telling me thank you, telling me that, it's making them think about their deceased mom, their deceased grandparents. It's very touching. And that's why I try to respond to all the videos, except now some of these shorts have millions of views or 500,000, 600,000 views. I can't get all of those, but I get as many as I can. All right. Okay. So check this out. If you remember the 80s, check the one I uploaded last night. You remember Izod Lacoste shirts? We all had to have those rolling out here, making her own way. But Rusty, me and my girls, we're working on it. We're trying to get out of here. We want to go. A bag. How many of you remember the Big Mac containers, the styrofoam? How many of you remember Frog and Toad or Friends? I still have some of my books from elementary school. I'm still an avid reader. I thank my parents so much for instilling the importance of reading. I'm still reading. I love it. I kept my grandmother's canisters. I hid them when her kids came to my house to pick up her stuff. Maga. It was the first time they ever seen our house, and she lived with us for 14 years. Wow. Oh my God. Maga, text me the pictures of it, please, dear. So yeah, check these out. On the right-hand side of the shorts, you see little hearts. Hit that. That helps YouTube to share them out with more people. Gumby and Pokey. Yeah, Rusty, if you haven't seen some of your favorite childhood toys and books and things of that nature, I upload a short every night. So I don't have everything, but okay, Margaret, that's fine. But I have people who respond to the shorts and say, you forgot, da-da-da-da-da. And then I'll leave them a comment. Oh, I've done that in 2 or 3 other shorts. But of course, they haven't seen them. When I go back, I'm not coming back to this degenerate culture society. No, my girls, we're not coming back. We're not. No, I have no desire. I remember I have Flip Wilson cross-dresser. Yes, Lanita, we all remember Flip Wilson. Yeah. Tina, yeah, we're waiting. We're all trying to get out of here. So you remember these bowls right here that mom had. Remember the wall unit ovens, the double ovens. Oh, just, remember when these vans were popular. I'm stuck in a time warp. I am definitely stuck. And I don't care. Yeah. So check them out. I got one coming up. I'm working on it now. I don't know when I'm going to upload it. The slow cooker, yes. Some of our favorite movies. So I'm working on a lot. And those of you who like the classic music that I like, here's one. Midnight at the Oasis. Oh, come on. What happened to my Midnight at the Oasis? Hold on. So those that haven't watched the shorts, excuse me, I have things that, you know, we remember when we were, you know, children, teenagers. And so this is what I'm doing. I keep going back. Let's see if it'll play this time.
Midnight at the Oasis. Sail your camel to bed. Shadows painting our faces. Traces of romance in our heads. Heaven's holding our hands. Blue. Shining just for us. Let's slip off to a sand dune real soon. Kick up a little dust. Come on, cactus is our friend. He'll point out the way. Come on, till the evening ends. Till the evening ends.
Yeah. So my videos aren't monetized, Rusty, so hopefully it should be okay. Get all of it. Yes, my girl. Thank you, Rusty. When people could sing before auto-tune, boom. So there's all of these, yeah, right now. Steve, I know Sanford and Son, Archie Bunker. I'm stuck in a time warp. I admit it. Lanita, yeah, Carly Simon. Oh my God, I'm still heartbroken. She has Parkinson's, she has cancer. I'm stuck in a time warp. When I was younger, when my favorite artists were younger and they didn't have all these health problems. Teddy Pendergrass. Yeah. Close the door. When people could see, yeah, auto-tune, you don't have to have talent now. Maga Tamara, those are beautiful. I don't blame you for keeping those behind. All right. Rainy days. Yeah, I'm alive. Yeah, the car. Look, I'm alive. Wait a second. Since you mentioned the Carpenters, hold 1 second before I close this live. Hold on. I love the classics. You see this? Carpenters, baby. You see that? Okay, hold on. Don't leave. You see this? More Carpenters. Yeah. People actually had talent, no auto-tune. Steve named that tune from Al Green. Let me see which Al Green tune he's talking about, because I have Al Green's greatest hits around here somewhere in my playlist. All right, so we're done. We'll be live tomorrow. Rolling out here making her own way back. Yeah. Oh, first time I ever. Oh, my girls. First time ever I saw your face. That's like one of the best. That song. And thank you for being here, Greg. Hope to see you tomorrow, sweetie. First time ever I saw your face. And what's my other favorite song? Oh my God. Nobody does it better. Makes me feel sad for the rest. Nobody does it half as good as you. Why'd you have to be so good? Oh my God. Yeah, these songs, oh my God. Oh my God. Miss Tina Turner I liked her 80s when she came out, when she made that comeback. That every song on that album, on that Tina Turner album, I loved it. Plus, by that time we found out everything she had gone through to get back on the top, and so everyone supported Tina Turner. R.I.P. Yeah, she just passed like a few years ago. Yes, my girls. Thank you, Maga. Yes. Oh my God, Tina Turner. Yeah, Donna Summers. I have her greatest hit. Oh boy, when Donna Summers died, I cried. When David Bowie died, some of these people that are dying, I'm like, my childhood is leaving me because I had their 45s when I was a kid, and now they're dying, and it's heartbreaking, And Mick Jagger just turned 83, and I know he, What is the name of the woman that could sing really good? Then she went to the Psychic Network. Oh, Dionne Warwick. Dionne Warwick. She did a lot of Burt Bacharach songs. Yeah. Dionne Warwick. She's the Whitney Houston's aunt. That's who you're talking about. Yeah, she went to the Psychic Network. Friends can be lovers and lovers can be friends. Yeah. My girls, yeah, but it's just heartbreak. It's hard for me to when they said that about Carly Simon, I had tears in my eyes. I'm like, oh my God. And, it just hurts. Because you can't do anything about it, and it just hurts because you're thinking about when you were younger, and again, you have their albums, and they were younger and they were healthy, and now it's just, we all know we're all going the same way. But it just hurts. It does. Lanita, thank you for the memories rolling. We all need to remember the good music with real words and messages. Yes, Lanita, yes. Maga, yes. Dionne Warwick is Whitney Houston's aunt, and then her sister, Dionne Warwick's sister, Cece, Whitney Houston's mother, they had their own, the Drinkers, they had their own gospel group. So yeah, that singing runs in that family. Yeah. Oh, Maga, that's okay, dear. You're fine. So we're done. When music was music. Yeah, Roland, you 1 in a million. Appreciate you and everyone. I'm alive. Thank you, love. I'm glad. Listen, I'm alive. I'm so glad I was raised on good music. People had talent. I'm glad that I was exposed. This is what was listened to in my household. And I have coworkers. I'm always in charge of the music at the end of the year luncheon. And I'm playing my Rod Stewart, my Rolling Stones. And there are a couple of black coworkers. Why are you listening to that? I'm like, hey, I am, I have my Elton John. And then they changed that because I have a Bluetooth speaker, and I'm like, hey, this is what I grew up on. And I thank God I wasn't, limited. Oh, you're black, you have to listen to black music. No, we listen to everything you see. This is what we listen to. I grew up listening to the Stones and Rod Stewart and Leonard Skinner. There were no boundaries with music. And I thank God for it. Yeah, Lanita, we'll be live tomorrow, dear. That's why, and here's my Bowie. I'm alive. I thank God I wasn't in a household where, we're black, and so we have to listen to black music. No. And my white coworkers pick on me. They're like, oh, they say, see, but you're just not black. They just pick on me. We have a good time, though. They come to my classroom. Sometimes I'm rocking out with Guns N' Roses. And I'm like, this is what we grew up on. My girls, yes, we listen to all genres of music. Nobody questions me when I listen to Al Green and Aretha. Yeah, I listen to Al Green, Aretha, I'm Alive, Marvin Gaye, God rest his soul. Yeah. You should blast some Lenny Kravitz. Yeah, I got a couple of Lenny Kravitz songs on my Apple playlist. Yeah. Are you gonna go my way? And if will I ever see you again? I like that too. Where they destroyed rap music with mumble rap. Yeah. Rap music in the beginning had a nice beat, had a message, and now it just went to crap. Yeah. So if I listen, I'm like you, Marg. If I listen, I'm listening to the early days, the Beastie Boys, the LL Cool J, before it got trashy. I miss the days of not talking about race every day. Beverly, you get a truth bomb. Prince is one of my all-time favorite artists. Why does race have... Rusty, right. That's why I'm trying to go back, because we weren't talking about right now. You understand why my girls, Tina, we're all trying to go back. MAGA, we weren't talking about race. We were too busy living our lives and having fun. Rusty likes Prince. Yeah. When Prince blew up and became big, I was listening to my Stones. I was going to Rolling Stones concert, so I wasn't into Prince. I like a few of his songs when he came out, when the Purple Rain, but before that, I was like, nah. I was just listening to the Stones and, Bowie and Go-Go's and stuff like that. The second British invasion, all the British groups that came over in the 80s. I'm big into the Brits, with their music, running the, yeah. Yeah, Steve, that was Duran Duran and Hungry Like the Wolf, which I have on my playlist as well. All right, we're done. I've enjoyed all of you. And yes, Beverly, free thinkers. Yes. I hope you'll be here with me tomorrow. And I just come on because I like to talk to all of you. We have fun. My girls, I liked when Michael Jackson came out with Thriller. And then when he was doing stuff with the albums with his brothers, I like that. Let me see. Eddie Van Halen did line of guitar. So yeah, Rusty, Eddie Van Halen, R.I.P. He was the bomb. You look for a video where it talks about celebrities that talk about selling their soul, like Jack Black. A lot of others, you'll find a lot of them have horn. Yes, MAGA, they sure did. They did it for fame. All right, we're gone. We're done. I'm coming to talk to you in the comment section until YouTube stops the live stream. Love you all. Be safe and be cognizant of your surroundings. And I'll see you tomorrow, 4:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.